Welcome friends to my channel with another video. As long as you enjoy this videos, please make sure to hit subscribe button. Girlfriend found my porn addiction. 3 years ago my girlfriend found my porn addiction. After she found it I finally stopped. We had a daughter 2 months ago and while she was pregnant I went through a huge bout of depression and anxiety. I've never gotten help for my traumas and am currently seeking it. When that bout started I tried to talk to her about it but she shrugged it off. I got deeper into it to the point I went back to my habit, only worse this time. I spent hundreds on OnlyFans and started taking pictures of people without them knowing. I don't fully know why I do these things but I do them. After my daughter was born my life changed and I finally felt okay again. I was moving the pictures out of a hidden photo app to delete them. Stupid I know, cause I could have deleted them in the app. They sync to Google Photos and she asked to see my phone to look at something. She went through my photos and saw everything. So I haven't seen my daughter in 2 days even though I'm in the basement of the house we live in. I have to wait for her to sleep to go upstairs and use the bathroom or get food. I feel so empty and alone. I just want to be a good dad. Moral of the story: if you feel you need help, do whatever you can to get it. Whether or not the person you are with can see how bad it is. Don't let it get to this point. TLDR: my girlfriend found my porn addiction. Kicked me in the basement. Haven't seen my newborn daughter in 2 days. Edit: honestly I just needed more than just one person to tell me how horrible I am. I didn't want attention. I wanted to feel worse. People around me keep telling me it's okay, you'll get better. I needed other people to tell me how shit I am, so I feel compelled to get help. I'm currently in the process of getting that help. I know I should be in jail. I relapsed drinking and I just got out of the hospital. Wife and family won't talk to me and I'm staying with a friend. I'm starting therapy tomorrow and I suggest you look into the same. I am absolutely obsessed with the thing that is ruining my life and it feels awful. Like I was in the hospital with bags and shit hooked up to me for days and all I could think about was drinking. Addiction is a bitch but it can be beat. Edit: wow, thanks everyone for the support, honesty, stories, and inspiration. I wish everyone the best in their recovery and I'll take mine too. Hey friend, I know you've heard this a million times. Addiction is giving up everything for one thing. Sobriety is giving up one thing for everything. I'm 43 months sober and I'm not special. You can do it too. My mother is an addict. She steals, even from her own family, lies, uses people, hurts people. She has gone to rehab many times with the full support of the family, but immediately goes back to her old ways when she gets out. She even went to jail for a year and started using again the very first day she got out. Get away from me is pretty much how we all feel right now. It's not that we don't love her and want her to get help, it's that we know she doesn't want help. If she asks for help, it's just her way of getting close enough to steal from you again. There is a point where you just have to accept that the addict in your life is no longer the person you used to know and there is nothing you can do except cut them out of your life. Bro, you wish it was a porn addiction. Technology director here. One of our teachers was desperate to get a laptop back that they had used at a conference. Found a folder with photos of our students and others. He had silenced his camera and it was basically photos of people bending over or photos he took under a desk while he was leaning over to help. Kink is the danger of getting caught maybe. He quit and moved when confronted and for some reason the cops didn't think it was enough to charge him with anything. There's a huge difference between a porn addiction and taking illicit pics of real people. The human brain is wired to get easily addicted to things which provide a quick reward, no matter what that reward is. This is why cocaine is so addictive as are cigarettes and other substances, even sugar. It's why people get addicted to gambling, and I'd say it's the reason people get addicted to stuff like cam-girl sites and strippers. The shorter the duration between making the decision and input, and the effect occurring, getting intoxicated, winning money, seeing boobs etc., is, the bigger the rush tends to be, and that's what gets people addicted. The reward center in the brain is wired to work in an environment hundreds of thousands of years ago in the African savanna, and not in a modern-day setting, which is why these things happen. Or, as Edward O. Wilson, a renowned sociobiologist from Harvard put it like 10 years back, the real problem of humanity is the following: we have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology. Yeah, big difference. There's nothing wrong with watching some porn. My GF's brother liked taking pictures of people in public too. Apparently he's been doing it for a while and it caught up to him because he got caught and now he's facing years in prison. Get some help, man. I don't fully know why I do these things but I do them. I know I should be in jail. This needs WAAAAY more context, my dude. Feels like there is a ton of shit you aren't telling us. Porn addiction isn't something you should be ashamed of. However, this feels like something much darker is going on that simply isn't forgivable. Don't know that I can agree with the porn addiction isn't something you should be ashamed of part. My dad used to watch porn around me as a child, literally in the same room or on the TV, took my webcam to take dick pics of himself which he saved onto the family computer, bookmarked porn websites on the family computer, racked up $500 phone sex bills, and then I caught him cheating on my mother when I was 12 and had to tell her myself. Porn/sex addictions are absolutely shameworthy to me. Dude, you shouldn't be going to Reddit for this. You need genuine help. Taking pictures of people without their consent isn't fucking okay, and you have a daughter on top of that. Get some help in a therapist or psychiatrist. You aren't on the right path. But acknowledging it is the first step. You've acknowledged that this is definitely a bad thing. Now it's time to seek help. Posting on Reddit isn't necessarily the best option for advice like this, but I can see where you're coming from. My best suggestion is to seek help for this, because if you don't, it'll get worse. Not necessarily you should be in jail, but you're definitely on the path to sexual misconduct if you don't get help right now. You have to recognize that you have a problem and then pinpoint how to fix it. And it won't be a quick fix either, man. You need to stick to your therapy, take your meds regularly, and do your homework. Make sure your girl is at least aware or minimally involved in your therapy so she knows you are trying. Good luck. Don't ever take pictures of anyone again. It's not okay, and I wish you the best, man. Worked with a dude who also took pictures of women without their knowledge. He didn't go to jail, but he is no longer allowed access to the internet or any device that has a camera. You need help before you can be a good parent. This isn't a porn addiction, it's worse. You're not an asshole, but you need serious help. Stop making excuses, take some accountability. Making excuses isn't recovery. You are not the victim here. This is coming from a recovering heroin/4 coke addict. I destroyed and burned every bridge I had. It was my fault, not theirs. If you want to get better, start with being honest with yourself. Nothing here is justified. You chose to do these things. I don't know if we are looking at the perspective of the mother enough. Taking illicit photos of strangers is still a big perversion. It's enough of a perversion that I would understand never wanting to speak to the person again. If he was that big a pervert, I could see someone thinking that that is also too much of a perversion to expose your own daughter to someone like that. Would you let your daughter around a man who takes pictures of strangers without their consent? Even if they were your best friend? Even if they were all adults? I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't be like, okay, he's a pervert, but in a way that doesn't affect me or my daughter directly, so he's an okay pervert. But even further, if there was something else to these photos and they were illegal in the worst of ways, would her course of action be reasonable? He still lives in the same house. I think the minimum action someone would take, for a perversion of that level, would be to kick them out, if not report it to the authorities. Not keep them in the house, but away from the child. Spending $100s on OnlyFans and taking pictures of people without them knowing are two very different things. Porn addiction, does it exist? Are you masturbating to the point that your penis hurts? Are you missing work and social engagements because you are watching porn instead? Are you spending money you don't have? Are you not having sex with your wife and instead masturbating to porn? $100s of dollars could be $200 over a year or $900 over a week every week. Even $900 over a year could be justified for some. Taking pictures of people you don't know. Do you mean saving pictures of hot girls on Instagram or taking pictures of random women on the street or up their skirts? If it's taking pictures up strangers' skirts or randoms in real life, that is much more deviant and you need to find a therapist ASAP and get help now before it becomes much worse. That is already sexual harassment. If you care about yourself and your family, you will get help now. Either way, if you genuinely care about your life and your wife and child, you need to seek help. You need therapy if you can afford therapy, and if you cannot afford it, you need to seek free resources. Google is free. Take initiative and find ways to help yourself. You need to get to the root of the issue ASAP, not just block of. Let's not beat around the bush. You aren't in the doghouse because you look at naked women on the interwebs and routinely beat out some knuckle children. Your behavior is predatory. You admit you have taken pictures of people who are unaware for your own sexual pleasure. I can only imagine that these images are of people in compromising positions like bent over, some level of undress, upskirt, etc. That's not normal, nor is it on any level of acceptable. This is predatory behavior in which you have made these people your victims. You should thank your lucky stars that you didn't get caught and had the absolute shit kicked out of you. But maybe that's what you actually need. I know I should be in jail. I hope by saying this, you are only talking about your actions towards adults and that you didn't take pictures of kids. If you have taken and are holding onto pictures of kids for your sexual pleasure, you don't deserve help or forgiveness. You deserve a much worse existence than you are experiencing. People keep saying, if he's not allowed to see his daughter, it must have been way worse than what he's revealing. That is true, but I'd like to add even more context to the situation. They have a 2-month-old child. Her body is still recovering from childbirth, so she is probably very self-conscious about her image. If I knew that my husband spent hundreds of dollars on OnlyFans while I was pregnant, that would be enough for me to banish him to the basement forever. Not only that, but they have a child who needs to be fed every 3 hours, who knows how she is sleeping at night, and it is overall just an extremely stressful time. I have a feeling this guy wasn't exactly jumping to help out with the baby, so this was the straw that broke the camel's back and she just decided to throw the whole boyfriend out. So, there's a bit to unpack there. The porn addiction. Masturbating feels good, it releases all sorts of feel-good chemicals. Unfortunately, technology has destroyed most people's imaginations, and porn does an excellent job compared to imaginations. Some people have such a hang-up on porn. The gray area for me is the OnlyFans. It's super specific to both your kinks and your preference in women. It's basically picking the ultimate girlfriend to wank to. Bit insulting to your actual girlfriend. The pictures of strangers is a completely disgusting line you jumped right over, turned around and drop-kicked it. On the flip side, just because a man is addicted to porn does not mean he can't also be a great dad. His relationship with his child should in no way be contingent on his relationship with the girlfriend. Get your shit together, bud. I'm glad you are getting help.